and the start of a new one. It is associated with various myths and legends, with many traditions and superstitions rooted in old stories and folklore. Many traditional Chinese New Year celebrations, for example, can be traced back to the ancient story. What is the Chinese New Year story? According to Chinese legend, there once lived a ferocious monster by the name of Yan. It lived in the ocean. By the end of the lunar year, it would come ashore to terrorize the villagers, destroying their property and eating any livestock or children that could find. To hide from this terrible monster, people would retreat the mountains every New Year's Eve. One year, as they were prepared to leave, boarding up their windows and packing their belongings, a strange old man wandered into the village. He was greeted by elderly women who told him about Nian and urged them to come with the villagers to the safety of the mountains. The old man refused to go, and instead told the woman that if she let him spend the night in her home, he would get rid of Nian for good. The Simple Path to Wealth by Jill Thomas. Chapter 1. Introduction. This book brought on my blog, www.glcollinsnh.com. The blog, in turn, grew out of a series of letters I had begun to write to my then teenage daughter. These letters concern various things, mostly about money investment. She was not yet quite ready to hear. Since money is the single most powerful tool we have for navigating this complex world we create, understanding is critical. If you choose to master, money has a wonderful service. If you don't, it will really master. But Dad, my little girl once said to me, I know money is important. I just want to spend my life thinking about it. For me, this was eye-opening. I love this stuff. But most people have better things to do with their precious time than think about money. They have riches to build, diseases to cure, treaties to negotiate, mountains to climb, technology to create, children to teach, businesses to open and open build. Unfortunately, this benign neglect of things financial is the reason for the fallacy things of the financial world. The people who make investing and listening complex, because if it can be made complex, it becomes more profitable for them, more expensive for us, and will force them to their waging hours. Here's an important truth. Complex investments exist only to profit those who create and sell them. Further, not only are they more costly to the investor, they are less effective. Jeff Bezos, who stepped down as Amazon chief executive. Amazon Jeff Bezos is to step down as chief executive of the e-commerce giant that he started in his garage nearly 30 years ago. He will become executive chairman, a move he said gave him time and energy to focus on his administration. Bezos, who has a fortune of almost $200 billion, will be replaced by Andy Jassy, who currently leads Amazon's cloud computing business. The change will take place in the second quarter of 2021. The CEO Amazon is a deep responsibility, and it is seen. When you have a responsibility like that, it's hard to believe anything else, Mr. Bezos said in a letter to Amazon staff on Tuesday. As executive chair, I will stay engaged in important Amazon initiatives, but I also have the time and energy I need to focus on the daily Wi-Fi, the visuals from Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and another passion. And I now have more energy, and this end retired. I'm super passionate by the impact of the organization can have, he added. Mr. Bezos, 57, has led Amazon since it started as an online bookshop in 1994. The firm now employs 1.3 million people globally and has a team in everything delivery and stream video, retail services, and data advice. What is life all about? Self-exploration is good for the soul. By Michael of Warning. Soul isn't what most might expect for big studio and making movies for cool. But big success, unfortunately, and freedom. I think lots of us have fallen into that idea of just find your passion, do what you love, and everything else will fall into place. And I came to a point where I'm like, not everything is coming into place. I'm not happy, content all the time just because I love doing animation, said store director and co-writer, Kate Doctor, a two-time Oscar winner. What's life really all about? And what are we meant to be doing? The film was really an investigation into that. Soul's main character, Joe, was by Jamie Foxx, is a frustrated jazz musician turned teacher, about to get a big break at club when the accident breaks down. His struggle to return to life, accompanied by a kind of baby soul voiced by Tina Fey, to fulfill what he says as a purpose from the story. As Doctor said, Soul is not concerned with the religious dogma, but with being present and alive right now, which makes a highly improvisational art of jazz on a Broadway stage. It helped considerably that co-writer Ken Howard used to cover jazz as a journalist, but there's no replacement for lived experience. Doctor refers to the opening scene, on which Joe conveys to students how he fell in love with jazz when his father took him to the club. Where that came from was me asking John to teach, who played them the music. Described to me a moment like this, and I almost literally transcribed to what he said and put it in the field. 10 years of experience in 1 hour by David Soros. From 1998 to 2008, I had this wild experience of starting a little hobby. Accidentally belonging to a big business, and they signed for $22 million. So now, people want to hear my thoughts. People asking about that idea. So, I tell stories about how it went for me. Many of them are about all the things I did wrong. I made some horrible mistakes. I think I can how to approach situations in life every time, so I but my approach is not the wrong way, and I cannot do a mistake myself. Philosophers are developed from this experience or work sharing. So, this is most of what I learned in 10 years. become packaged into something really nice. Now, I hope you find this idea useful for your own life business. I also hope you disagree with Thomas. Then, I hope you email me to tell me about your different points of view, because that's my favorite part of all. I'm a student. I'm not rude. What is the language so important? Chinese New Year marks the beginning of a new lunar year, and it's time for family and celebration. This is the story behind many Chinese New Year traditions by Daisy Miller. Chinese New Year, also known as the Spring Festival, marks the end of the lunar year and is the new one. It is associated with various myths, Saint legends, with many traditions and superstitions due to the old stories of folklore. Many traditional Chinese New Year celebration, for example, can be traced back to an ancient story. According to Chinese legend, there once lived a ferocious monster by the name of Yan. It lived in the ocean. By the end of the lunar year, it would come ashore to catch villagers, to destroy their property, and eating any livestock or children that it defined. To hide from the terrible monster, people would treat the monster every New Year's Eve. One year, as they were prepared to leave, holding up their windows and wondering, a strange old man wandered into the village. He was created by elderly women who told them about Yan and urged them to come with the villagers to the safety of the mountains. The old man refused to go, and instead told the woman that let's spend the night in her home. He would get rid of Yan for good. The Simple Path to Walk by Jill Color. Chapter 1. Introduction. Brought out by www.glcollinsna.com. The blog, in turn, grew out of the series of letters of John Love to my grown teenage daughter. These letters concern various things, mostly about money and investing. She was not in the typewriting career. Since money is the single most powerful tool we have for navigating this complex world of creation, understanding is critical. If you choose money becomes a wonderful feeling. If you don't, it will send a map to you. That Dad, my little girl once said to me, I know money is important. I just want to spend my life. For me, it was an eye-opener. I love this stuff. But most people have such things to do with their precious time that think about money. They have bridges to build, decisions to secure, cities to negotiate, mountains to climb, technologies to create, children to teach, businesses to open and build. Unfortunately, this environment of things financial is open to the charlatans of the financial world. The people who make investing endlessly complex. Because it can be made complex, it becomes more profitable for them, more expensive for us, and we are forced into the waiting on. Here's the important truth. Complex investments will profit those who create and sell them. Further, not only are they more costly to the investor, they are less effective. Jeff Bezos stepped down as Amazon chief executive, and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is to step down as chief executive of e-commerce giant that he started his blog nearly 30 years ago. He became executive chairman, a move he said would give him time and energy to focus on his other interests. Mr. Bezos, who has a fortune of almost $200 billion, will be replaced by Andy Jassy, who currently leads Amazon's cloud computing business. The change will take place in the second half of 2021, the company said. Being the CEO of Amazon is a big responsibility, and it can see me. When you have a responsibility like that, it's hard to put attention on anything else, Mr. Bezos said in the letter to Amazon staff on Tuesday. As executive, I will stay engaged in important Amazon initiatives, but also have the time and energy I need to focus on the Day One Fund, the Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and my other partners. I've never had more energy, and this isn't bound to retire. I'm super passionate about the company I think this organization can help, he added. Mr. Bezos, 57, had led Amazon since its start as an online bookshop in 1994. The firm now employs 1.3 million people globally and has hands in everything from package delivery and stream video to cloud services and advertising. What is life all about? Self-exploration is good for the soul. Financial soul isn't what most might expect from big studio animated movies for kids, but pictures of success forces the freedom to try new things, including explore to all those things. I think a lot of us have fallen into that idea of just find your passion, do what you love, and everything else will fall into place. And where I'm not everything is coming into place. I'm not happy and content all the time. Sometimes I do animation, says show director and co-writer Hey Doctor, a two-time Oscar winner. What's life really all about, and what we're meant to be doing? The film was really an investigation into that. Soul's main character, Joe, voiced by Jamie Foxx, is a frustrated jazz musician turned teacher about to get his big break at club when he unexpectedly dies. His struggle to return to his life, accompanied by a kind of wavy soul voiced by Tina Fey, to fulfill what he sees as purpose from the story. As Dr. said, soul is not to share what religious dogma, but what being present and alive right now, which makes a highly improvisational act of jazz on the clock stage. It helps considerably that co-writer Tom Powell used to cover jazz as a journalist, but there's no relation for lived experience. Doctor refers to the opening thing, the ratio conveys to students how it fell involved in jazz when they started taking the sound. Where that came from was me asking John Christine, who played the music, to try to me a moment like this, and I almost literally transcribed what he said and put it in the film. 10 years of experience in 1 hour by direct service. From 1998 to 2008, I had this wild experience of hobby, this business, and selling it for $22 million. So now, people want to hear my thoughts. People ask me about their experience. Many of them are about all the things I did wrong. I made some horrible mistakes. People ask my advice on how to approach situations in their lives, businesses. So I explain how I approach things. But my approach is just one way, and I can argue against it as well. I'm not really suggesting anyone should be like me. I'm pretty unusual. So what works for me might not work for others. But enough people so that my stories and the philosophies that I developed from this experience are worth sharing. So here we are. This is most of what I learned in 10 years, compacted into something you can read and understand. I hope you find these ideas useful for your own life business. I also hope you disagree with some of them. Then, I hope you email me to tell me about your different points of view, because that's my favorite part of all. I'm a student, not a guru. What is the Chinese New Year story? Why this festival is so important? Chinese New Year marks the beginning of a new lunar year and is time for family and celebration. This is the story behind many Chinese New Year traditions by Jason Miller. Chinese New Year, also known as the Spring Festival, marks the end of the lunar year and the start of a new one. It is associated with a very special symbolic, with many traditions and superstitions rooted in old story and folklore. Many traditional Chinese New Year celebrations, for example, can be traced back to an ancient story. What is the Chinese New Year story? According to Chinese legend, there once lived a ferocious monster by the name of Yan. It lived in the ocean. By the end of the lunar year, it would come ashore to terrorize villagers, destroying their property and eating any livestock or children that it could find. To hide from this terrible monster, people would retreat them to mountains every New Year's Eve. One year, after preparing to leave, boarding up their windows and packing their belongings, a strange old man wandered into the village. He was greeted by an elderly woman who told him about Yan and urged him to come with the villagers to the safety of the mountains. The old man refused to go, and instead told the woman that if she let him spend the night in her home, he would get rid of Yan for good. A Simple Path to Wealth by Jill Collins. This book grew up my blog, www.collins.com. The blog, in turn, grew out of a series of letters I had begun to write to my then teenage daughter. These letters concern various things, mostly about money investing. She was not yet ready to hear. Since money is the single most powerful tool we have for navigating this complex world we've created, understanding is critical. If you choose to master, money becomes a wonderful servant. If you don't, it will surely master you. But Dad, my little girl once said to me, I know money is important, but my life. For me, this was eye-opening. I love this one. But most people have better things to do with precious time to think about money. They have bridges to build, diseases to cure, treaties to negotiate, mountains to climb, technology to create, children to teach, businesses to open and build. Unfortunately, this benign negative financial leave you open to the charlatans of the financial world. The people who make investing and listing complex, because if it can be made complex, it becomes more profitable for them, more expensive for us, and we are forced into their waiting arms. Here's an important truth. Complex investments exist only to profit those who create and sell them. Further, not only are they more costly to investors, they are less effective.